Hi everybody, it's Chelsea and today we're going to be talking about the do's and don'ts of sleeping in a Walmart parking lot.
What you missed out on all your life.
So I know a couple of you guys are vehicle dwellers, a couple of you guys live in RVs full-time, van life, whatever it may be. These are a couple tips for when you're trying to find a place to sleep for free, you don't know exactly where to go. Check out Walmarts. I've personally stayed in a couple of Walmarts myself. These are on days where I am driving until the sun goes down and I don't want to pay for a campground if I'm only going to be there for a couple hours. So I'll usually pull into a Walmart parking lot, camp out there for the night, and then be on my way the next morning. There's a couple benefits to staying at Walmart. One, it's free. Two, you can stock up on groceries and anything you might need. There's bathrooms there. It's usually a well-lit parking lot and they're pretty used to campers. So here's a couple do's and don'ts. Do, when you first pull into the Walmart parking lot in your town, wherever you may be, make sure you keep an eye out for the signs that say no camping. It's a rare day that you'll see signs that say no overnight parking or whatever. Most Walmarts I've ever been to allow for overnight parking. The way that you'll know that you're not allowed to park there is if it's posted. If there's no posting, you can stay. If it's posted, don't stay. There's only been one Walmart that I have not been allowed to stay in, and that was in Spokane Valley in, I believe, Washington. I think that's the state I was in. However, there is a website actually that tells you which Walmarts you're allowed to stay in and which ones you're not. Basically, in big cities like San Diego and LA and San Francisco, you're not allowed to stay in Walmarts there. But just about anywhere else in the country, you're kind of good to go. There was actually this one time where I parked in a Walmart that had it posted that there was no overnight parking. And I parked there anyway because I was dead tired and really needed to stop driving, and no one said anything to me. So I think that it's mostly about where you park in the lot and just being respectful. So let's move on to that part. Where do you park in the lot? Where's your best bet on where to park in the Walmart parking lot when you get there? I kind of have a general rule. Number one, park where all the other RVers are. It is not rare that when you pull into a Walmart parking lot, you're gonna see a couple other camper trailers or RVers or van lifers somewhere in the parking lot. They're usually hanging out in the back of the parking lot and on the sides. Go there, head over there. We have a little section. It's like a little welcoming party over there. Head to where all the other RVers are, take your pick of your spaces, and that's that. Number two, generally if there is no one else there, I do try to park over by the garden section because that's usually at the end, and I will try to park as close to the side and towards the back of the parking lot as possible. I do take up multiple spaces if I'm going like down the line, or I can take up 2 spaces if I pull straight through and they're facing like front to front, you know. So just try to be respectful of parking spaces in general. Don't park where everybody else wants to park when they get there in the morning. Park in the back of the parking lot. You know the drill. And number 3, my third little tip as to where to park, I generally also like to park next to or by a trucker. A big semi truck that you see on the road, one of those 18-wheelers. I park next to them if I ever get the chance to, because to be honest, I just feel safer around them. No one ever messes with truckers. I feel like if they're parked in a parking lot overnight and they're much bigger than I am, whoever's gonna come and yell at us is probably gonna, I don't know. I'd just rather not be yelled at by myself. So I park next to truckers, or not right next to them, and give them their space and everything, but you know, park by them. I've kind of come to the conclusion that if it looks like somebody else knows what they're doing, go do that. And it's worked out well for me so far. There's a couple do's for where to park. Let's get into some don'ts. Don't stay more than one night. That's not cool. I mean, they're doing us a favor and letting us stay there anyway. Just don't stay more than one night. Don't unhitch your trailer or anything. Like, don't unhitch. If you have a van, that's one thing, you're always in it. But if you have a camper trailer like I do, don't unhitch it and just take your tow vehicle into town to go do whatever you want and don't leave your trailer anywhere. That's not cool. Don't use a camp stove or set out lawn chairs. Don't make this your home. You are not getting cozy here. You are literally stopping to sleep and refuel and recharge. Don't put down your levelers. Don't pull out your stairs. You know, another do, whether or not you are in a RV or camper trailer or your van or your vehicle, these are really helpful for vehicle dwellers. This tip is to crack a window if you can. Bear to crack a window on both sides of your car so that you get some airflow and ventilation going, because if your windows do fog up at 3 in the morning, you might get a tap on your window to see if you are okay, and they will wake you up. Another do is to definitely bring an eye mask and earplugs. Walmart parking lots are loud, you guys. I've heard fights break out at 5 in the morning. I've heard the truckers come in to restock the grocery store at 2 in the morning. I've heard dogs barking. Walmart is a place that never sleeps, and because it's 24 hours, there are people coming there 24 hours a day. You're gonna experience that. You're probably gonna experience some 16-year-old kid doing donuts in the middle of the parking lot at 3 in the morning one night. It's bound to happen. Just keep in mind that it is loud, and prepare for not the best night's sleep ever, but at least it's a place to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that when it comes to free camping out of like truck stops, rest stops, and Walmarts, I really do prefer Walmarts the most. They're a really good place to stay. I always feel relatively safe there. I don't have a really big problem sleeping. And then underneath that would be truck stops because of all the comfortability they have. A lot of those have like showers and stuff. And then the last one that I would stay at would be rest stops. I really don't mess with rest stops. I don't think anybody should if they can avoid it. Walmarts are definitely the way to go. So I hope this really short video gave you some good do's and don'ts and helped you feel a little bit more comfortable if you are going to be sleeping in an overnight parking lot, specifically at Walmart's. My biggest tip is just to be as inconspicuous as possible. Don't take up a lot of spaces, park in the back, be respectful, know where you are, and just look out for signs that say that you are not allowed there, because otherwise you're fine. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you are a vehicle dweller or a van dweller or a camper trailer dweller or whatever, and you are interested in picking up a couple nomad tips, my name is Chelsea. I am also a nomad, and I post the tips. Subscribe to keep up with my journey, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
I got a wild heart, ain't slowing down, you better keep